everybody, and welcome to this Microsoft E3 conference. I guess just thoughts and chat, really. I literally just finished watching it. It just finished about 10 minutes ago. I had to have, I don't know, just a bit of a think about it because, wow, that was an intense E3 conference. Definitely the best Microsoft one I've seen in a while. So many amazing looking games. I would preface that with the touch to say not a huge number of exclusives, but we'll get into that. Yeah, but you know, a world away from EA's conference yesterday. Whew, okay, so I don't even know where to start, man. It was crazy. I guess the beginning, which was Halo, Halo Infinite, didn't really show us much about that whatsoever. I guess it's the sequel to BioShock Infinite, right? You know, it's a Halo game. It's coming. I guess it's good. I think the fact that it's called Halo Infinite might suggest that it's not. It's going to be something different to the mains, like Halo, you know, 4, 5, whatever. Maybe, you know, I kind of saw it and thought, oh, maybe we're going to get like just a multiplayer only game, or maybe something even different to that. I don't know. It didn't really show anything, did it? It just basically said, yep, that's coming. I guess the next thing, big thing anyway, I'll go through the big things first, and a few of the little things which I liked. Fallout 76 was, we saw a trailer for it, like a different trailer, basically. Todd Howard came out. I thought he looked pretty cool. He announced that it is the prequel, which everybody knew, really. The game world is West Virginia, and apparently the map is 4 times larger than Fallout 4. Now, Fallout 4's map is large, so to be 4 times the size of that, whew, I mean, I'm guessing you're going to get, like, from the looks of that trailer that we saw, there was more like rolling hills and things like that. It looked a lot greener and a lot more, you know, lifelike than we've seen in any Fallout game. I guess because it's set so close to the bombs, you know, we haven't perhaps had that necessarily had as much time for it to change. We saw these very mutant-looking creatures. No kind of hints as to what really the game is, whether it's a single, multiplayer, whatever. But obviously we'll get that at Bethesda. They weren't going to give away all the secrets, were they? Considering their conference is only a few hours away. But yeah, just really, yeah, super psyched to see that game. I thought personally the graphics looked really good. They looked like a slightly better Fallout 4, and I personally really like the way Fallout 4 looks. I know some people don't, but I do. I thought it looked really nice. I thought the light rays looked good. Some of the places they went round, they looked really good, really interesting. Obviously landmarks, I don't really know West Virginia at all, so I couldn't tell you about the landmarks. I'm sure there'll be many videos dissecting the stuff, you know, as it goes through, and that's cool. Yeah, you know, it's pretty cool. I guess the next thing on my list, I guess, was Forza Horizon 4, which is a true Microsoft exclusive. You know, Forza Horizon series, I don't think they've put a foot wrong so far in that series. They've all been great games, 1, 2 and 3. Now number 4 comes to Britain. I was like, as soon as I saw the countryside, I was like, that's England. And then I saw a road sign, I was like, that is England. And I was like, oh boy. Now obviously I'm from England, and I was like, holy moly. They have seasons in this one, so changes like spring, summer, autumn, winter, which, you know, changes the way the world is, I guess, the way it works. There was a cool scene where this lake was like, in the, you know, other seasons it was just a lake, and then in the winter it froze over and you could drive over it, which looked really cool. It's a kind of like an online game world, so yeah, it didn't seem like there was like a festival. It's always had this festival vibe, but they didn't show anything about that. So that kind of looks cool. Yeah, and just looked really really awesome. There seemed to be like a hovercraft in it as well, which I noticed. Yeah, that. This is definitely on my list, 100%. I love the Forza Horizon games anyway, but the fact that it's set in Britain is, it feels weird to say Britain, really. I want to say the UK, but I guess it's probably not in Northern Ireland. The fact that they're saying Britain means that it could be set in Wales, Scotland and England, which might mean that it's across different parts rather than one like map, compared to other Forza Horizons. So that would be something that we're, I guess, going to wait on, you know, details of. But it looked like there were towns and obviously lots of countryside, and a lot of it looked like Scotland, a few bits of Wales and England. You know, there is. It might seem like that, you know, to people who don't live in England, but there is a distinct difference between the different parts of the country. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to that. That looked great. What else was there? Jeez Louise. There was a new From Software game which I thought looked really interesting. At first I was like, is that like Neo 2? Because it has this kind of like Japanese samurai feel to it. But Neo was of course a PlayStation exclusive, so I was like, no, I don't think they would do that. It's called Sekiro Shadows Die Twice, coming in 2019. Looked similar to like a Neo style of From Software, where it's not the slow style of Dark Souls. It's more kind of like a faster Bloodborne, but didn't look like there was guns or anything. And yeah, it looked really interesting actually. I would definitely be checking that out. You know, that kind of like, I feel like the kind of Dark Souls type of games, there's a lot of innovation still to kind of come from it, and obviously From Software are the masters of that. So yeah, it looked really promising actually. It looked really interesting. We'll have to wait and see. Crackdown 3 is coming February 22nd. There's loads of games coming February 22nd, by the way. It's mental. 2019. I'm gonna turn around and say right now, I'm not that impressed by Crackdown 3. I didn't really like the look of the trailers that I've seen so far. I really like Crackdown 1, but I don't know if I really want to play Crackdown 3. I didn't really like Crackdown 2 that much. I'd need to see more. I'm not a massive fan of the art style of it, and like we've just seen trailers so far without kind of like a lot of gameplay. So I'm not really too psyched about Crackdown, and it's been delayed so long. I know there's this whole kind of like, oh, you can blow everything up, but it's like, well, there's only so many things I need to blow up, to be completely honest with you. So yeah, it's something where I'm like a little bit kind of, yeah, you know, take it or leave it for me, really, with Crackdown. What else? We saw a little bit more Battlefield 5. Really, not a lot. I really think they've been really bad at showing us Battlefield. Weirdly, even EA, I think, were really bad at showing us Battlefield. We saw some Kingdom Hearts 3. I haven't played a Kingdom Hearts game at all, but I love the way this game looks. It looks so cool. They had like Elsa from Frozen in there with like Mickey and all that lot, and my god, I'm so tempted to play it, but at the same time I know that I won't have a clue what is going on. So if someone makes like an hour-long video which explains the entire story, I would sit down and watch that. Genuinely would watch that, because that looks cool. What else do we have? Jeez, honestly, guys, I recommend you watch it if you didn't watch it, because there were so many games. As I said, not everything was like Xbox exclusive or things like that, but you know, it's good to see them kind of like getting behind these things. Now, they announced that they had acquired 5 studios, which is super cool. They're kind of following in Sony's footsteps a little bit, where they're kind of like acquiring studios to produce first-party games, I guess. They started up a new studio called The Initiative. I was hoping they would call it The Institute. That would have made me laugh a lot. And I think there's like some ex-Gears people working there. Undead Labs, I think, who made State of Decay and State of Decay 2. Playground Games, who are people, I think, maybe, I don't know. Ninja Theory, who made the one with the crazy woman. I've completely forgotten the name of the game now, but that's really promising. Compulsion Games, who are making We Happy Few. So I'm guessing maybe that's going to be a console exclusive to Xbox. I'm not too sure on that one, they didn't say. But yeah, really good. To see from Microsoft, because let's face it, Microsoft have been getting so much stick that because they haven't been releasing any first-party games, exclusive. Sony's been winning that race every year, basically, and this year will again. To be fair, they've already had God of War and Detroit, which are both excellent games. Microsoft have had Sea of Thieves and State of Decay 2, which have both come out to mediocre reviews. Sony is getting it right in that respect. So if Microsoft can come back, it's only good news. Like, I really despise the whole console wars thing. It's just ridiculous. Two companies who are producing fantastic games is only good for everyone. Do you know what I mean? I can appreciate that people are like, well, I can't afford to buy this console, I can't afford to buy that console, but Microsoft have been doing some really good stuff regarding the Game Pass, regarding the fact that they release all their first-party games on PC as well, and generally they've been winning back, I think, a lot of goodwill, whereas PlayStation have perhaps been losing a little bit with their reluctance to do cross console multiplayer and stuff like that. So yeah, I feel like Sony have been definitely winning the games race, which you could easily argue is the most important one. But Microsoft have been doing a lot of groundwork, so if they can get those games out, those exclusives, they're going to do pretty well. I don't like the idea of exclusives in general, but I do appreciate that this is a business, and it makes sense from a business point of view, if not from the point of view of people, consumers. It's anti-consumer, but so are a lot of things, let's face it. Good to see not a mention of loot boxes at all. I like that a lot. Doesn't mean there won't be any, it's just like, really, you don't need to mention loot boxes, okay? So yeah, getting back to the kind of games, we saw a bit more of We Happy Few. I'm a bit on the fence with that game as well. I don't really, it's been out in I think early access and stuff like that, and the reviews have been a bit wonky on it, but it is early access, so who knows. We saw a bit more on PUBG. They've got new maps coming. There seems to be a snowy map for winter. Fair play to PUBG, at least they release new maps and don't just have one. But then again, you have to pay for the game, whereas Fortnite's free, so I guess swings around about right. It doesn't really worry me either way. Tales of Vesperia Definitive Edition. When they first kind of flashed up, I suddenly thought, oh, was that Fable? But no, it wasn't. Never really heard of the game. I know the Tales series, but I haven't heard of that one, to be fair, and it's not something which interests me too much, but it did look pretty cool. Next up, we had a big kind of reveal, I guess, the Division 2, ladies and gentlemen. I'm sure we're going to get way more details in the Ubisoft conference. I do find it kind of weird that they've been launching or showing these games when they have their own conference, like with Fallout 76 and Division 2, but hey, whatever you want to do, I guess. Division 2 is going to be set in Washington DC. The virus once again has struck. Seems to be some other kind of shenanigans going on as well. Yeah, looked cool. They had one of those they had a kind of trailery thing to begin with, which was kind of cool, and then they had their clan classic, as they did with the first one, where they show off. They do like gameplay and have like the kind of talking in the background. Now, the talking in the background was better, I will say. It was one of the better ones, but it still always feels a little bit cringy and a little bit unrealistic. So I expect lots of memes to come from that. You know, I like the fact that they started off in like the gardens, like the kind of botanical gardens, and so it felt like it was in the jungle, and then it kind of showed that you were in like the you know, tropical house or whatever at the you know, whatever the place is. I don't know Washington very well, sorry. I thought that was cool because I was like, whoa, hang on, is this, what is this? And then they kind of went out into Washington DC. Seems to have some really cool stuff. Looked a lot more open than New York. New York is about the streets. This looked a lot more open. Maybe it was just a bit they showed, but there was like a plane that had crashed and they had to like secure it. So that's interesting. You know, it's not just going to be kind of like the you know, streets of New York sort of fighting. It looks like it's slightly different to that. Otherwise, didn't look crazily different from Division 1. I've kind of said all along though, Division 1 now is a very different game to when it released. I will also point out that the trailer for Division 1 looked very different to how it actually released, so don't look too much into how the Division 2 looks and plays, because they lost a lot of features from that first trailer. They even said in this one that it, before the trailer started, it's like an early like build, you know, so they were kind of covering their bets a little bit there, but looked cool. Yeah, I'm up for it, definitely. I love the Division. I think it was fantastic. It turned into a really good game. I liked it at the beginning, you know, I wasn't one of those haters, but without a doubt it improved significantly over the course of its lifespan, so I'm super looking forward to that. Obviously I'll get it on PC, not Xbox, but you know, it's worth talking about, I think. March 15th, 2019. My god, the first half of next year is... I haven't seen the likes of that, I don't think, since last year. I mean, it's bigger than last year when we had, you know, the Switch launch and stuff like that. I think there are a lot of games coming, like January, February, March next year. Crazy. They had like some sort of gaming montage with some different like indie games and things like that. They look pretty cool. Nothing there that is really kind of like stands out for me. They then showed Shadow of the Tomb Raider, Square Enix. Again, weird because Square Enix have their own conference. I guess they're just kind of building hype. Didn't look really anything new there. It's a Tomb Raider game. It's going to look beautiful. It's hopefully going to play well. Hopefully the story's going to be good. I'll definitely check it out because I've loved the last two Tomb Raider games. Apparently this is a trilogy, so this is kind of like the last of the trilogy. I've always felt though that Square Enix have publicised Tomb Raider poorly in the past. The whole not releasing on PlayStation 4 for a year of Rise of the Tomb Raider was just dumb as hell. I don't care how much Microsoft paid you, it was dumb. They better not do that this year. It didn't. I don't think it said that it was they were going to do that, but I guess we'll wait and see. But yeah, look good. I'm a big fan of those Tomb Raider games. As I say, they're fun to play. They have cool mechanics. They have great cut sequences. You know, things like that. I don't even mind the quick time events in them either. I like it. Next up, we saw a game called Sessions. It was just a trailer for it. Didn't really look gameplay, but I guess we'll see. Looked like kind of Skate, I guess, in a way. I'm really up for a skateboarding game. We'll see how good this one is. Like, I mean, you can't turn around and be like too excited. We've just seen a very short little trailer from it. You know, no actual kind of like gameplay stuff. So yeah, but I'm totally down if they want to release, you know, a successor to Skate. It's EA's fault for not bloody well doing anything else with the Skate series. So I think we'd all be down with that. They had a Black Desert game. I was like, is this Black Desert Online? I don't really get it. Does that make sense? I need to look into that a little bit more. I haven't had a chance to, but because obviously there's Black Desert Online, which is the MMO. This looked different to it. This looked like a kind of like action RPG. But is it by the same people? I don't know. I was confused by that a little bit. It looked pretty cool. It did look cool, but I don't know. Guess like we'd have to wait and see. And then they announced Devil May Cry 5. Yes, yes, and yes, please. I love the Devil May Cry series. Super excited that they're doing more. It looked pretty cool. Yeah, I really like the Devil May Cry series, so that's cool. I don't think that's like an exclusive to Microsoft. And I mean, I'll go through that at the end, but that's a big thing to take into account with this one. Like Sony's press conference, they said they're going to concentrate on 4 games, which are all exclusive just to the PlayStation. But with Microsoft, they're really, I mean, technically none of their games are console exclusives because they release everything on Windows as well, so you can just play it on your PC. But you know, in terms of what's Devil May Cry 5 is going to be coming to PlayStation as well, so you know it's cool that we're seeing these games, but like from an overall point of view of what is in it as a Microsoft exclusive, like what is the reason to buy the Xbox over the PlayStation 4? There's a few things to come for that. One of them, I guess, is Cuphead DLC. I look forward to watching YouTube videos of that and never actually playing that game because no, that's not for me. That game is way too hard. It looks cool though. I love the aesthetic art to it. The soundtrack as well, brilliant. Cool. A game which I did like the look of though is called Tunic. It looks like a little indie game. It's got a cute little fox. It's got a kind of Legend of Zelda-esque vibe to it, although it's a bit different. It's kind of like an isometric looking game, and I think it looked really cool. We'll have to wait and see, obviously. Anytime you see trailers like this, obviously it's all tarted up to look really good, and you don't really know how the game's going to play, but certainly like that's on my radar, I think. We had next a very, very strange looking game, which looked a lot like Dragon Ball Z. I don't know nothing about Dragon Ball Z though. It's called Jump Force, and it just looked really over the top, like an over the top action fighting game type thing. Hey, it might be really good. Don't really know anything else about that. Then we saw an announcement for Dying Light 2. This is awesome. Dying Light 1 was one of the sleeper hits in terms of video games. It was a fantastic game. It combined the parkour with, a really interesting story, and obviously the whole zombie thing is coming at night. And in this one, they showed off this kind of huge city where your choices actually matter in the way the series is. They showed an example where, you had to go and see these people, and if you kind of killed them to take their water source, the city would be like a lot greener. But the people who were running it, the peacekeepers, were a bit more brutal. And then another way, if you teamed up with them, the city wouldn't be thriving as much, but it would give you like more profit, I guess. But it would also bring in like some of the more undesirable people. Overall, it looked really cool. Again, I don't know how much of that is, cutscene quality rather than game quality, but Dying Light was a nice looking game, so it looked fairly similar. So I could believe that that was kind of gameplay. And yeah, it looked good. Dying Light's definitely a game. Dying Light 2 is definitely a game I'd get. I've got Dying Light 1 on PlayStation, and it was cool. It's a really good multiplayer game as well. Really, really good fun. Slightly terrifying, but that's just the way it goes. Then we had Battletoads. Didn't show any gameplay footage or nothing. Just said there's a Battletoads game coming, I think 2019. Doesn't really interest me, to be honest with you. I never played the original, but I'm sure somewhere. I always think, like, when I see a game that I have no interest in, I always think someone somewhere is losing their mind over that. Someone somewhere is like, oh my god, Battletoads is my favourite game ever, and now they're doing a new one. So good luck to that person. Just Cause 4, we saw this had been leaked already in the infamous Canadian Walmart leak. I think with the Just Cause series, for me personally, I enjoyed the first one a lot. I liked the second one. I never bothered playing the third one, and I don't know what's going to bring me back to play the fourth one either. It just feels like it's the same game with better graphics each time, and I'm like, what? It's not even a new character. It's just the same character for 4 games, and I know it's not. It's always a bit over the top, and it's a bit, you know, bit dumb and stuff like that. But and I'm sure there's a big crowd for it. But I'm like, what would make me play this? I don't know. It's got a weird release date as well, 4th of December. Like, I seem to remember them doing that with the last Dying Light, and it did not do well. So why would you release it in December again? Oh, well, never mind. It's not my problem at the end of the day. Next up, we had what I thought was like the ultimate troll. So people have been waiting for a Gears of War game, and then they have like this Funko Pop Gears of War game, which is hilarious. And people saw like the Gears logo, you could hear the cheers, and then this Funko Pop like Gears of War figures came up. And there was this like audible silence. It was like they were completely trolling the audience and everyone at home. I can just imagine like all the Gears of War fans just flipping out at that, just like, what the hell is this? You know, this is terrible. This is, and I was like, oh my god, is this gonna like rival the Command and Conquer like destruction? But as it turns out, it is. Well, it says it's for Google Play in the App Store, so it's a mobile game. So maybe it is gonna rival the Command and Conquer. But they also showed off an actual Gears of War game. Gears of War 5, and they showed off Gears of War or Gears Tactics as it's called, which seems to be like XCOM style game, which I like those games. It's interesting. I'm not sure how it's going to work out and stuff like that. If it's going to be more of a kind of like smaller style indie game like a Halo Wars or something, or not indie, but you know, that not AAA, but like not B-list, like that kind of like AA game where it's kind of like 30 quid and it's not that long, and it's, you know, gonna be about like, yeah, not a AAA game, but it's kind of like enjoyable. And then they announced Gears of War 5. I'm not hugely into the Gears of War series. I should catch up really, considering they're all on PC now. But I mean, it looked interesting. You know, it just looked like Gears of War, to be honest. People will absolutely lose their crap about that, I'm sure. Speaking of losing their crap, we had heard rumours that CD Projekt Red were going to show off Cyberpunk 2077 at E3. The rumours that it was going to appear at the Microsoft conference, and Phil Spencer did that kind of classic thing. Who actually, by the way, as well, I think he did a really good job presenting it. He always seems to do a really good job presenting it, and he seems to be a really good face for the business, you know, as well. So that's cool, you know. I think Xbox are finding their feet again, definitely with him. So long may that continue. But anyway, yeah, he did that thing where he's kind of signing off, and then it looked like the place kind of got hacked, you know. And as soon as you saw that, I was like, "This is Cyberpunk, 100%." And yeah, we saw a trailer, and it looks great. There's so much going on in the trailer that I'll have to watch it like about 15 times to actually kind of dissect it. Obviously, very different to The Witcher 3. That is set people's expectations there. You know, set in the future. It feels like a kind of 80s sci-fi future. You know, crazy sci-fi stuff going on. You know, we saw people with, you know, bits of their face missing, and like all these implants and robots and futuristic weapons and futuristic cars and just all sorts of stuff going on. And it was apparently was in-game engine, although it wasn't obviously gameplay footage. The engine looks great. I like the look of it. There's some really nice shots going on. Seem to have a really nice atmosphere. Obviously we don't really know exactly what is going to be going on with it. It's still up in the air. I don't know if we'll learn more by the end of E3, or they'll keep it under their hats, but obviously this is a hugely One thing I will say at the beginning, they kind of showed a map, and with a metro line map, I'm wondering if that is going to be like the actual map of the area, in which case it looks pretty darn big. You know, it's important to remember that this is not The Witcher 3. The Witcher 3 was a culmination of a story we had over many years, based upon a very successful book series, very popular book series. So this is something completely new, pretty much. Obviously, going to be borrowing a lot of references from different things, but it looks really exciting. It looks really awesome. I'm getting a real kind of like Grand Theft Auto vibe from it in a weird way, which I'm wondering if we're going to get that kind of thing, where it's going to be this like big living world, you know, that you kind of exist in and stuff like that. Also, really cool car. Someone on Twitter was like, "Can I call my car Roach, please?" So I wonder if that will be an option. I'm sure there will be some Witcher 3 Easter eggs in it, absolutely. But yeah, you know, it looked really interesting. Just loads of stuff going on. Kind of looks like Fallout 4 if the bombs didn't go off. That's how I would probably describe it. You know, that kind of crazy technological future. I love like the way the logo looks and just everything about it. It's just really, really good. Obviously, this is one of the most exciting games to come. It's important to remember that CD Projekt Red are an indie studio. Okay, I know they made one of the best games ever in The Witcher 3, but you know, they are an indie studio. They're not, you know, they're independent, and you know, I'm just trying to taper expectation levels to say that this might not be the, you know, they're not a rock star yet. Okay, they don't have that resource level yet. They obviously did very well off The Witcher 3, but Rockstar have been doing very well for a long time. So, you know, I think people have been saying that this, you know, I see comments and people are like, "Oh, this is going to be better than The Witcher 3," and "Oh, this is going to be amazing," and stuff like that. And it's like, we haven't seen anything yet. Listen, if it is 90% as good a game as The Witcher 3, it will be amazing. So let's remember that. The Witcher 3 is amazing, but you know, this is a whole new world, a whole new game, and you know, The Witcher 1 was not that great. The Witcher 2 was really, really, really good, and The Witcher 3 was amazing. So I think just temper expectation levels on that as a whole. But that closed out what was a fantastic conference in terms of, for me watching it, I loved like the games. In terms of, if you're going to say how well did Microsoft do, is that going to make me go out and buy an Xbox? Absolutely not. Like, absolutely would not do that. So from that perspective, I don't know, you know, if I had 300 quid in my hand right now and you said to me, go out there and buy a console, you're going to get PlayStation 4 or Xbox, I'd be like, I'm going to go and buy PlayStation 4, because every single one of those games that impressed me is coming out on PlayStation 4 as well. Plus, we have those fantastic games coming out on PlayStation 4 and a better back catalogue already. So I'm hoping with this acquisition of studios, Microsoft at the next E3 will be able to really show off some of their own games, and you know, have their own exclusives to rival Sony, and you know, try and claw back a little bit of that market share. But we'll wait and see. You know, time will tell. It's not like you can't just throw money at video games and go, there we go, you can make an amazing game. It doesn't work like that. We've seen it so many times. You know, there's so many creative people. You know, that's why not every game that comes out is amazing, because, and when the ones which are amazing come out, that we have to, you know, celebrate that and support it and not try and break it down. So yeah, I think, you know, way better conference than the EA conference. But to be fair, you know, EA are one developer. This showed games from all across the developers, some huge developers as well, you know, but just the general overall feel of the press conference, I really liked. It was really snappy. They showed 50 games, you know, showing little bits of some. They didn't seem to go, you know, they didn't have like really long moments with people on stage just talking. They had little moments, but they weren't more than like 3 3 or 4 minutes long at a time, and it just felt a lot snappier and a lot better, and it looked really well made. I think they didn't do anything dumb like bring a Porsche on stage or do something like that. So it was a really good one. As I said, certainly the best Microsoft one I've seen at E3. But that wouldn't be difficult because they've had some stinkers. Whether or not it will be the best one at E3, we have to wait and see. I am personally incredibly stoked for this Bethesda one. This for me is like, I was like shaking at Cyberpunk. I'm gonna be like on the floor for Bethesda if we get like, more on Fallout 76, the possibility of this Starfield game, and the possibility of an Elder Scrolls 6 announcement, which seems very, very small, by the way. But man, I'd be on the floor in the fetal position, just shaking myself if that was to happen. But hey, there we go. I mean, let me know what you guys think about this conference. What did you think looked really good? There's quite a few games that I'm pretty stoked about and looking forward to coming. And from an Xbox point of view, as in an exclusive, I think really the Forza Horizon has really got me excited. I'm really looking forward to that. I'm a sucker for anything based in England, and that's what they did. So yeah. Till next time, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I'm gonna do the Bethesda one later. We'll see what happens there. So till then, see you soon. Bye bye.